gives me one of those looks of his and says, I must be about my father's business. Like he's the only boy in town doesn't know his father's a carpenter. Maybe he's a bit embarrassed to get his hands dirty or something. And the things he gets up to. Him and that bunch of weirdos who follow him around everywhere and then come back and eat me out of house and home. Take the other night. I'm in the kitchen preparing Shabbat dinner. My neighbor Rebecca comes rushing in, going, Mary, Mary, come see what your boy's doing now. So I rush down to the lakeside, me and the rest of the village. And what do you think the big schlemiel is up to? He's only walking on the water. How many times I got to tell him, Jesus, you want to cross the lake, you buy a ticket, you take the ferry like everybody else. You want people to think they're too poor to give our boy a ticket? And the next thing, I think maybe my luck's changed. Because he's only got one of them out there with him. Peter, big ox, sits like a horse. And the guy begins to sing. And I'm going, thank you, God, one less mouth to feed tonight. But no. Jesus got to go and save him, like Jesus got to go and save everybody. I say to him, Jesus, why you want to keep saving everybody? You keep saving everybody, pretty soon there'll be too many people on the planet. But does he listen to me? Of course not, I'm just his mother. I said to my neighbor Rebecca, Rebecca, why is it everybody wants a boy? Boys are nothing but trouble. You give me a nice girl now, anything. The worst thing a girl can do, she can make you a grandmother. And the worst thing in the world is not to be a grandmother, because you don't be a grandmother, who are you going to tell your stories to? And so, mothers become grandmothers. I want to tell you about my two little grandsons, Jesus and Lucifer. Now, Jesus was a very clever child, always doing things with his hands. It's serious, though. But Lucifer, what laughing eyes the boy had. You should have seen him on a hillside with a bunch of crazy ladies. Naughty. Oh, but really, you know, he loved his mama, so everything was all right. Now, one day, my eldest son, what was his name? Yahweh. Then he comes to me and he says he wants to take over all my power. So I say, all right, you want it, you got it. Let's see what a mess you make out of it. And me, I go visit my sister Dora on the other side of the universe for a few thousand years. Now, Yahweh didn't have no sense of humor. I think he caught piles once, sitting on a drafty hillside carving something. Anyway, he didn't want no one to have a good time. He didn't like little Lucifer. So he banishes the boy to planet Earth, and what does he find when he gets there? This big PR machine making out like he's some sort of devil or something. No wonder he went a bit funny for a time. Really, you know, the boy just missed his mama. So then it's Jesus' turn to go down there. I always told him his tricks would get him into trouble one day. And he hasn't been down there 5 minutes, but he's hanging from a dead tree, going, Daddy, Daddy, and Daddy's in heaven having a heart attack, and I hear all this on a postcard at my sister Dora's on the other side of the universe. So I think maybe it's time for an old lady to come back and sort everything out. You see, Yahweh, he wasn't a bad man. He had no heart, you know what I mean? Jesus, Lucifer, they're just two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. It's not natural. I know an old lady shouldn't have favorites among the little ones, and I love them both. Oh, really, I do. But between you, me, and the Wednesday, I always had a soft spot for those laughing eyes. Well, of course, for a long time, it was actually touch and go whether the new religion would catch on. So the priests had to come up with something a bit more dynamic, and they did. I think we'd call it advertising. I've had a request from a Mr. Saul. No, Paul now, isn't it? Of course he's no longer Jewish, he's just joined the Gold Club. He wants us to run a campaign for him. It seems the people aren't buying enough of this new religion of his, the brand name Christianity. Yeah, he took over some small local company, not a lot of interest. Well, now he wants to turn it into market leader. And so he comes to us, sucky and sucky, advertising executives to the greedy and unscrupulous. Now, the main problem, as I see it, is that people don't want to stop buying their old religion, brand name goddess. It's organic, it's good for them, sure, they enjoy it. Well, we've got to persuade them that religion isn't something to be enjoyed, something to be suffered. They want to celebrate life, do they? Well, we're going to have to sell them death. Now, to do this, I think we need a really vigorous campaign. Lots of torture and burning. That'll soon change a few people's minds for them. Oh, and I think we need to offer them a free gift. People love a free gift. But what I had in mind was life after death. Everyone will want one, won't come for a penny. Oh, and I think we'll say that anybody who still doesn't want to buy our product is going to hell. And nobody who's anybody would want to be seen there. No, just to be on the safe side, I think we need to mount some sort of smear campaign against this goddess person. Let me see. She's a woman, isn't she? Let's say that women invented original sin. So anything that goes wrong in your life, just blame it on the women. Yes, I know they're our best consumers, but believe me, a few years of lies, some heavy persecution, make sure they don't get any education. They won't know what to think. They'll believe anything we tell them. Yes, I think we can tell Mr. Paul we've got a really exciting campaign worked out for him. We'll have this Christianity of his off the ground in no time. Well, that did work. And by the simple process of burning a few 100,000 women and men, goddess religion was finally driven underground. And the word witch, that only meant one with the knowledge, became a dirty word in the English language. And poor old women were put to death for ridiculous crimes like copulating with demons. I should be so lucky. What is a witch but a woman who knows her own power, reading the feelings in her guts in preference to the rubbish in the press? What is a witch but a wild woman, raging with fury at all the destruction the fools and the greedy ones have wrought on our planet? What is a witch but a free woman, riding the broomstick of delight, soaring phoenix-like out of the ashes of her sister's sad history? And so we come to today. And today, as we struggle to find a way out of the madness this sort of modern religion has driven us to, more and more people are again returning to their goddess. And her voice is getting louder throughout the land. Hello? Hello, am I speaking to God? Hello, God. This is Miss Brown here of the Wood Branch Intergalactic Family Solicitors. Yes. Yes, it's about the divorce petition that's been filed by your wife, Mrs. God. She's citing irretrievable breakdown of the relationship, and there is mention of a person called Mary. Ring a bell? Something to do with a shower of light or something. Oh, we have been a naughty boy, haven't we, God? Yes, I'm afraid Mrs. God is very upset. Well, she is going for all the community property. Let's face it, God. I mean, she did bring the whole lot into the marriage with her, and you have willfully ignored the place that she's been in charge. That's, the planet Earth, the Milky Way, the cosmos, WW11WW. What? Oh, well, I'm sorry you thought it more important to go around peeping through keyholes to make sure everyone was doing it in a missionary position. Oh, the children? Yes. Well, we are advising Mrs. God to go for sole custody of the children. Let's face it, Bob. You can find one son to the fiery furnaces of hell, and you send the other one off on a wild goose chase that results in his being crucified. Well, that hardly qualifies you for a responsible parent of the year award, does it? Oh, very wise not to contest that. We do have millions of witnesses. Oh, there's one other little matter before you ring off. Another writ that's been filed against you, alleging plagiarism. Yes, a Mr. Zeus.